of the Cerebral Smack Talk live on StreamYard.com and also on YouTube.com on BrazeFan95. What's going on, peeps? It's good old MF Michael Flecha with Anthony the Hitman Florio with the Phenom Michael Bullock. We're awaiting Dee Woodson. I've sent her a couple of invites. I don't know if she's got it or it's just some issues going on. Hopefully we will get her on tonight. And tonight, guys, it is SmackDown Live as usual. And tonight was a big night. King of the Ring qualifying matches. We had a couple of fights that went down tonight. And then also the continuation of the storyline of basically who was the one that basically tried to mow down and injure Roman Reigns. Daniel Bryan says he has the culprit, and we'll find out who that is here tonight. But we started off the show with Randy Orton cutting a promo that prompted the WWE Champion Kofi Kingston and the New Day to come out, only to get ambushed by the Revival. And yes, guys, here we go. We got ourselves gang warfare. I hope you enjoy it because this is what we've been waiting for. Ever since this brand new stable last night got created on Monday Night Raw, which was the Revival and Orton working together as a crew. This time around, it basically exploded right before our very eyes, and my goodness, did it explode. Solid way to start the show, but man, Kofi, I mean, this was very interesting to watch, man. There's really nothing more to say about it. I thought I definitely enjoyed the way that this way started the show. So Anthony Florio, come on in. It's all yours, bro. And give me your thoughts.
Well, I'll tell you, MF, this segment worked pretty well. It was short and to the point. Randy Orton made sure he didn't receive any adulation from the crowd. And Kofi looked like the valiant babyface fighting off the heels and standing up for his friends. So short, sweet, to the point, served its purpose. And Michael Bullock and I, MF, you're hearing this for the first time. We had our SmackDown live chat this evening, and he and I both agreed, and I know Bullock will emphasize a little more when we get to him, but Bullock and I had an interesting thought, and that thought is, we know it's going to be, it's very likely going to be these two at the Clash of the Champions once again for the WWE Championship, Randy Orton and Kofi Kingston. Based on what we've seen the last couple of nights, last night on Raw, and especially tonight, Bullock and I think it should be a no-holds-barred match, or it should be some sort of stipulation match, because I don't think you can contain these two in a regular wrestling match. I don't think you can. And Randy Orton went there. He went there again. He brought up Kofi's wife. He brought up his kids. Yeah, you know what that's going to do to a man. So, nothing really more to say on that. So, we'll see what happens. I like Bullock's theory that this should be a no-holds-barred match. And if you do that, you make this a no-holds-barred match between these two at the Clash of the Champions, you steal the dang show right there in Charlotte. So, there's really nothing more to say. Bullock, come on in. That's what you said. That's what we agreed on. When we had our SmackDown live chat this evening, we said that it should be Randy Orton and Kofi Kingston one more time at the Clash of the Champions for the WWE Championship in a no-holds-barred style match. So, Michael Bullock, come on in. It's yours.
Yes, I mean, that's what me and Florio basically said. I mean, after the way things went down at SummerSlam, I mean, and what we saw here tonight, I think the best way to settle it is in a no-holds-barred match at the Clash of the Champions. Now, whether they agree to it or not, that remains to be seen. But yeah, I mean, I like the segment here. I mean, I thought it was a good one. I mean, Randy Orton basically going there again, talking about Kofi's family, and of course, mentioning the stupid comment. And then Kofi Kingston really unleashed on Randy Orton, and the Revival tried to get involved, and yeah, they took a chair shot. They took some chair shots themselves. So yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the segment. I thought it was really good. So I really got nothing more to say. Let's move on.
And now we jump off the SmackDown portion of the King of the Ring tournament. The first match, opening round match in King of the Ring for the SmackDown men. It was Apollo Crews one-on-one with Andrade, of course, with Zelina Vega. And the winner of the match and advancing to the next round of the tournament is Andrade. He wins it at 9 minutes and 40 seconds. Anthony Florio, Andrade moves on. He will face the winner of Chad Gable versus Sheldon Benjamin in the next round.
And I'm hoping it's Chad Gable who gets to that match, MF, because that would be a hella fun match if I'm going to be quite honest here. Before I get into the serious business, though, there were a couple of observations that I want to take from this particular bout that Michael Bullock and I very much noticed during our SmackDown chat this evening. Zelina Vega. Whoa. Okay. That's the first thing. And number two, Michael Bullock, our favorite referee refereed this match. You know who I mean?
That would be Danilo Fabio.
That's exactly right.
And Fletch. When I saw what Zelina Vega was wearing, I immediately was thinking of you. Like, oh, jeez, Fletch is got to be going nuts in a good way.
Yes, that's exactly right. That's exactly what I was saying as well. Like if MF was here, he'd be going Gur crazy. That's all there is to say on that. All right, now that I got that out of my way, back to the serious business at hand. I would say this was the second best fight of the night. I'm giving this 3 to 3.25 stars. It was a good, logically sound match. Andrade is so impressive, and that's to say nothing negative about Apollo Crews' in-ring ability either. I didn't really like the distraction finish, a typical case of the babyface not being smart enough to avoid the heel manager's distraction. But nonetheless, it's only a small knock on an otherwise entertaining bout. And the announcers were careful to really put over Crews' athleticism in this one. So the outcome was never in doubt. I had Andrade winning this. He's on the rise, no question about it. And like I said, well, it really doesn't matter if it's Gable or Benjamin, honestly. But for me, I kind of want to see Gable in there. I mean, they're building him up as an underdog. So a Gable and Andrade match, especially with Gable's amateur background, that could be a hella fun match right there. No doubt about it. So nothing more to say. Second best fight of the night. This was 3 to 3.25 stars. Michael Bullock, I mean, we enjoyed this match very much. Not just Zelina Vega, of course, Danilo and Fabio as well. So Bullock, come on in with your thoughts on this match. I think we agreed on 3 to 3.25. Is that correct?
Yeah, a 3-star match for me when it comes to this. I mean, I thought this was a really a good match here. I mean, it could have been better, but yeah, I mean, I didn't like the I didn't like the finish. Excuse me. I didn't like the the ending with Zelina Vega being the distraction, but yeah, so Andrade moves on. So there's really nothing more that needs to be said here. So let's move on to Fletch for his thoughts. And all I can say is I know you were going bonkers with Zelina Vega and what she wore.
I am going to digress. I'm going to try to keep it professional. Maybe that's a behind the scenes chat. But let's focus on the job at hand. Andrade advances. He's my guy to win the King of the Ring. I'm going to throw it out there right now. I think Andrade's going to become the king of the ring. That's my personal prediction. That's my personal feeling. I know there's a lot of people that has different opinions, from Kevin Owens to Drew McIntyre. I know Booker T actually said he's got McIntyre winning the king of the ring. My guy, the guy that I'm putting all my chips in on this one, is Andrade. Andrade is my pick. I want him to win the King of the Ring this year. He's the one that I got going all the way to winning the tournament. Now, this was a good fight. This was a solid match. This was 3 to 3.25 stars. I agree with you, gentlemen. And this was definitely a lot better than, I really thought it was going to be a solid fight. I didn't know how Apollo Crews was going to go, because sometimes he's good, other times not so much. Tonight, he shined in the spotlight with Andrade. Yes, the ending was typical heel fashion, but at the end of the day, it serves the purpose. Andrade goes through. That was a great move, great call by WWE for that. And I can't be any more happier with Andrade moving on to the next round of the tournament. So,
I just got a message from Dee Woodson saying she never got her invite.
I did send it to her.
Did you send it to that live address of hers?
Yeah. Yes. Okay. I don't know what happened, because I did send it. All right. I'll try again. Sorry about that, folks. So with that said, unfortunately, we lost Michael Bullock in the process as well. So we're going to lead off with the next segment while I get everything all situated here, which was a moment with Bliss, with Charlotte Flair. And you know what, Anthony? While I get everything all set it up with Dee Dee to try to get her back, why don't you take this one for a spin for the moment?
Yeah. Moment of Bliss, Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, your women's tag team champions. They had a very special guest, and that special guest ended up being the Queen, Charlotte Flair, and they ended up getting interrupted by Bayley, the SmackDown Women's Champion, and to the surprise of absolutely nobody, Charlotte basically threw down the gauntlet, saying, "Bayley, I will beat you at the Clash of the Champions for the SmackDown Women's Championship." And Bayley says, "Okay, I consider that a challenge, and I accept." So think about this, folks. We're going to have, when it comes to Clash of the Champions, for the 2 women's championship matches, they're going to feature the 4 horsewomen of NXT. Think about that one for a moment. On SmackDown Live, you're going to have Bayley defending the SmackDown Women's Championship against Charlotte Flair. And over for the Raw Women's Championship, we're going to have the man, Becky Lynch, squaring off against the boss, Sasha Banks. That's last time I checked, I believe those were the 4 horsewomen of NXT. And we know how notorious those 4 young ladies are. I mean, we'll all never forget that emotional embrace that they had in Brooklyn as part of the very first NXT TakeOver event. Well, the first significant NXT TakeOver event in 2015, when Bayley and Sasha stole the show, and to this day still had the greatest women's match in NXT history, that 5-star classic that none of us will ever forget for the rest of our lives. But the 4 horsewomen, oh boy, they're going to be splitting the championship bouts at the Clash of the Champions. If I'm going to be quite honest, I think Becky and Sasha's just has the word show stealer written on it just a little bit more. I think that one's going to be just the more exciting. But you never know. Bayley and Charlotte could put on a good match too. But anyways, as far as the segment goes, fine segment for what it was. It wasn't the greatest. I mean, Charlotte had her usual normal monotone promo. Bayley kind of sounded forced with her lines. The feud's been done to death. For the crowd seemed far less enthused. I mean, it's basically like the point of go away. But then again, when it comes to me, there's a certain angle that I think is at the point of go away myself. And I'll get into it in just a little bit, but I think you might know where I'm going with it. So that's really all there is to say. So that's the segment in a nutshell. It was basically Bailey and Charlotte bickering, and Bailey, hey, shoving Charlotte, knocking Charlotte off the little chair there. I mean, man, she made Charlotte take quite a bit of a spill there. So yeah, so we'll wait and see what happens. But think about it once again, gentlemen. The 2 women's championship matches for Clash of the Champions will be splitting up and featuring in split squad matches the 4 horsewomen of NXT. Michael Bullock, what do you think of this? The 4 horsewomen of NXT split between the Raw and SmackDown Women's Championships for the Clash of the Champions.
Boy, all I can say is, I mean, that's going to be something to keep an eye on when it comes to the Clash of Champions when you got those 2 matches going. Yeah, I mean, the segment was fine for what it was. I mean, it really wasn't all that special. I mean, Bailey basically pushing Charlotte. I mean, she took quite a bump there. And yeah, I mean, I know some people are probably not looking forward to it because I mean, they were basically like, I mean, we basically seen this before, like when both of them were on Monday Night Raw. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see how it goes. So yeah, there's really nothing more for me to say. Fletch, it's yours.
All right, guys. I'm gonna try to get Dee Woodson on here. I try to get her through the live. It's not working. I'm gonna go through her other email address and try to see if I can get her on that way. So, so just allow me just a moment here, folks. And while I'm doing that, I'll multitask here. And yeah, this was a solid segment. This was pretty good. And it is what you said that you guys have been alluding to, fellas, is that this is going to be another war, another battle, another showdown, and it's going to be an interesting dilemma. So, like we said, the 4 horsewomen of WWE are all going to be in battle, in wars, in fights. Is it possible? Now, I know this is probably not in the cards yet, but is it possible that the 4 horsewomen of MMA show up? You know who they are. Jessamine Duke, Marina Shafir, the reigning, defending NXT Women's Champion, Shayna Baszler, the Ace of Spades, and finally, the biggest of them all, former Raw Women's Champion, the baddest woman on the planet, Ronda Rousey. Now, there has been talk a catastrophic injury. She suffered a catastrophic injury that happened to her. I want to say a couple of days ago. Actually, today she was in the ER. I guess she was filming a movie and she almost severed one of her fingers. Like it's gruesome how bad it looks. But there was a talk about possibly the 4 horsewomen of MMA versus the 4 horsewomen of WWE, possibly a fight going down at SummerSlam. That was the rumor going around. That is what I've heard. So, what's that going to be like? How's that going to play out? I guess we'll wait and find out. We'll find out soon enough. So, ladies and gentlemen, we do got our 4th member of the crew here in the house, Dee Woodson. We apologize, Dee. I don't know what's going on. Because I sent it to your live account, and I don't know. I don't know what happened. It's
I
weird.
don't either, because I get my live account not only on my cell phone but on the computer, and it didn't pop up on either one. And then all of a sudden, my Gmail pops up that the show started, and I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't get anything.
Yeah.
So I had been watching on YouTube while I was trying to get a hold of whoever I could get a hold of, and Florio was finally the first one that finally answered me and said, "Hey." So I could say, "Hey, I've been trying to get hold of Fletch. I mean, I texted you, I hit you up on Facebook, I hit you up on the group chat."
Yeah. Well,
It's like
sorry about.
nothing's working. I can't get Fletch.
Yeah. I don't know, for some odd reason,
That's crazy.
once I start, I basically shut everything down. Like, I'll even show you what my my setup is, and normally what I have is my SmackDown Live notes and the thing for StreamYard. I don't use any other website or anything else. Once I get into something, I completely shut down. So that's just a word of a heads up more than anything else. But you're here. It's awesome. We'll go very quick with you and catch you up. Give me your opening thoughts about the opening segment, Randy Orton and the New Day and the Revival, that opening segment that they had.
Good opening segment with Kofi showing some great fire, and it didn't overstay its welcome. So it's nice opening.
All right. Andrade advancing in the King of the Ring tournament, knocking off Apollo Crews at 9 minutes and 40 seconds.
I'll give it 3 1/4 stars. It was a good competitive match, and Andrade, I think, kind of deserved it more than Apollo anyway. So.
And we just talked about the moment with Bliss, with Charlotte Flair and Bayley.
Solid segment to build up the Clash of Champions match, because I'm sure that's what it's going to be.
Mm-hmm. And you're caught up, Dee. There you go. So we move on. And the next thing that we had, guys, was this was the match where basically Buddy Murphy was basically singled out by Daniel Bryan as the man that attacked Roman Reigns. Daniel Bryan has presumptively accused him of being the one that did it, and that he has proof of it. Buddy Murphy's like, you know what? No, I'm innocent. You're just spinning it to know to who the real true culprit is and the whole 9 yards. So they decide to have a one-on-one match. And so Daniel Bryan versus Buddy Murphy, and surprise, 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 the winner of the bout, 13 minutes, 25 seconds, was Buddy Murphy. He wins. He shocks the WWE Universe. He just took down a former World Heavyweight Champion. Oh my goodness. All right, who leads off on this? Bullock? Yeah, it was supposed to be Bullock because he kind of got taken off for a second. So, my Bullock, I'm going to give this to you, bro. Buddy Murphy just got one of the biggest wins of his career. He just knocked off Daniel Bryan, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody saw this coming with Buddy Murphy getting the win over Daniel Bryan. I mean, but all I can say is call the Sioux City police, because these two just stole the damn show, and that's what they did here in this match. I mean, I'm gonna go 3.5 to 4. I mean, this was the fight of the night. I mean, both of these men. I mean, we knew this was going to be something good, and these two certainly delivered. I mean, we had some Shakespearean drama, and of course, Florio. We saw my favorite move, and of course, that was the Tope con Hilo.
Can I get a yeah, buddy?
Yep, that's what it was. So, yeah, big win for Buddy Murphy. The biggest win of his career since joining the main roster. So, well done, Buddy Murphy. But then again, well done to both of these men. Yeah. So there's really nothing more to say. So Dee Woodson, these two stole the damn show.
Yeah, this was another really good performance, especially by Buddy Murphy, and more importantly, he picked up the win, and I'm hoping that this will lead to a lot more stuff for him. That this is his push for him to finally get into something a little bit bigger. I'm going to go 3 3/4 of a star. It was a very well done match. That these guys worked very well off of each other. So I have nothing else to say about it. Fletch, I toss it to you.
Fight of the night. It deserves it. It gets it. I mean, what a match. What a battle. I cannot believe that's how this fight goes down. And Buddy Murphy, man, talk about a humongous win. And it was a clean victory, too. It wasn't, it wasn't just any chicanery, no screw job, no nothing. Buddy Murphy hits him with another high knee, then nails him with the Murphy's Law to end it. I mean, big win for Buddy Murphy. One of the biggest wins on the main roster. Former cruiserweight champion of the world, and he just knocked off one of the biggest names on SmackDown Live, one of the big workhorses on SmackDown Live. Oh my goodness. Anthony Florio, I mean, 3 3/4 to near 4 stars, fight of the night. And like I said, this is without a doubt one of the biggest, if not the biggest win of this man's career. Well done.
MF, it was the biggest win of his career for right now. Anytime you beat a guy like the new Daniel Bryan, who has done everything there is to do in the WWE today, multi-time WWE World Heavyweight Champion, Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, United States Heavyweight Champion, a multi-time tag team champion. And, he's done everything Daniel Bryan has. But for Buddy Murphy to go over like that, I mean, that is awesome. I mean, that makes me a very happy guy, considering he came from one of my shows, 205 Live, and he stole the dang show. I mean, him and Roman tore the house down last week. Tonight he tears it down with Daniel Bryan. I think next week will be his King of the Ring match with Ali, and that's going to be epic. Come on now. I mean, and I told Bullock going in, when Bullock and I had our SmackDown chat this evening, I told Bullock going in, this is going to steal the damn show. This has show stealer and fight of the night written all over it. And lo and behold, I was right. No big surprise. I believe I had this one. 3.5 to 4 stars. Fight of the night. Excellent match. Much like Murphy's match with Roman last week, this was fast-paced, varied, and entertaining from start to finish. Murphy is earning himself a spot as a regular on SmackDown Live with these performances. Daniel Bryan losing clean, it is something he's been doing a lot lately, a little too often. And if the new Daniel Bryan is eventually revealed to be Roman's attacker, one has to imagine he's going to lose that feud pretty handily as well. But nonetheless, this is a match worth going out of your way to see. I hope a lot of you out there either DVR'd this match, either because you had to miss it or you just want to see it again. I strongly recommend going out of your way to see this match because this one stole the dang show. Bullock had it right in the immortal words of JBL. So 3.5 to 4 stars. Incredible match. Fun match. Shakespearean drama. Great near falls. Great action. A tope con hilo for Bullock, and night is made. So there's nothing more to say on this, MF. 3.5 to 4. Buddy Murphy, he's on his way. And if you thought the matches with the big dog and the Planet's champion were amazing, just imagine what he and Ali are going to do next week in the King of the Ring. They're going to steal the first round.
That could be the fight of the first round, no doubt about it. I mean, it's going to be very interesting to watch. All right, so the next thing we had the Revival. Scott Dawson, Dash Wilder going up against Heavy Machinery, Otis, and Tucker. And when it was all said and done, The Revival gets the victory. 6 minutes and 10 seconds. D.D. Woodson, we're going to lead it off with you, my dear. Not bad of a tag team fight. And it actually does kind of put the Revival really in the catbird seat to challenge for the SmackDown tag team titles.
Yeah, it kind of does. This is definitely a solid match. It's keeping the momentum going for the Revival. I'm going to give it about 2.5 stars. It was, like I said, it was solid. It was good. And I hate to see the newer team losing in this, because Heavy Machinery is a very good team. But yeah, the Revival is starting to turn things around a little bit, and this is something that they needed. They needed a good win over a legit tag team to push that momentum just a little bit further, and for them to hopefully get back into a title picture. So nothing else I'm going to say. It's yours.
2.5 stars, no doubt about it. A decent fight. Solid match, to say the very least. And yeah, I really got nothing more to say about it. So let's go on. And Anthony, it's yours.
2 to 2.5. Nothing much to say about this one. The crowd chanted boring throughout the first few minutes, but they got into it once Otis got the hot tag. These formulaic TV tag matches are hard to get into. Heavy Machinery seems to have fallen off substantially in the last couple of months, and it shows, particularly in crowd reactions. Losing cleanly to a team that was just beaten down with a steel chair by your champion of the world earlier in the night does not help matters. This was nothing more than a way to get the Revival a clean win, to set them up for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match against the New Day. We really cannot call Championship Committee on this, because the Revival issued the challenge in the first place, and this is where I have to do a little bit of some nitpicking here. This is where I got to go into a bit of a Corey Graves, Jesse Ventura type thing here. This wild card rule still making no sense. Raw guys challenging for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. I'm starting to get this feeling if the Revival goes over and they win the titles, goodbye Raw, hello SmackDown Live, and MF, you just got yourself a major upgrade in the tag team division over on SmackDown Live. Big time. And if you do get them, I pray to God that SmackDown Live treats them much better than they got treated on Raw. Yes, they had 2 runs with the Raw tag team titles, but the thing is, they were both cup of coffee runs, and they also had to put over Kurt Hawkins at WrestleMania. Good grief. But nonetheless, little nitpick aside, it was a solid match. Could have been better considering the talent involved. So that's really all there is to say on this. So 2 to 2.5 for me. Bullock, your thoughts?
Yeah, 2 to 2.5. Nothing really that much to write home about when it comes to this. So yeah, you guys pretty much touched on everything with this. So let's just move on, Fletch.
All right, and with that said, we will indeed move on. And it started off with another. Well, if you've been living under a rock, there's been a lot of news over social media today about NXT coming to USA. That's right, you heard me right. NXT, the third brand of the WWE umbrella, and in many people's minds, the best brand of WWE. NXT is coming to the USA Network starting September 18th. That is 2 weeks ahead of AEW. And on top of that, Derek Ferreira has already alluded that he might be coming out of retirement even sooner than we thought. Because October 2 was going to be the magic day when AEW does his show was going to launch. Now, it looks like it might be coming September 18th. And we might be launching his brand new show on Wednesday nights because of NXT. And how awesome is that to say? So we'll wait and see what happens. Then there was a Miz TV segment with Sami Zayn, interrupted of all people by Shinsuke Nakamura. Okay, so I wonder what Nakamura is going to do here. What's his game plan? But it looks like Sami and Nakamura might be working together now. So we might have Nakamura and Sami Zayn together. Miz is practically now maybe back in the hunt for the Intercontinental Championship because of what happened tonight. I mean, oh boy. Sign me up. That's all I'm saying. This just got very interesting to see. So, Anthony Florio, give me your thoughts. I mean, not the best Miz TV segment, but Nakamura, Sami Zayn, and The Miz possibly fighting for the Intercontinental title? That might be interesting.
Might be interesting. That is interesting. Sign me up. I'm in. Let's do it. Honestly, Nakamura really doesn't need a mouthpiece or a partner, but it does give Sami Zayn something to do. Sami is generally entertaining, albeit a little obnoxious on the microphone. So I'm willing to give this the benefit of the doubt before totally writing it off. I'm intrigued. So I definitely want to see more of this. So if I'm the only one on this, so what? So these three guys can wrestle, and if you give them a chance to put on a decent match, we could be pleasantly surprised. So, like we always like to say, give it a chance. That's all I'm gonna say. So, Michael Bullock, your thoughts?
I'm just gonna say it plain and simple. Don't really care about it, especially when it comes to Lane Duckman here. So, Dee Woodson, it's yours.
Yeah, it was an all right segment. I'm not I like Sammy's entrance. I like the way he comes out dancing. I'm not too crazy about the way they're running his character right now. Nakamura can talk English. Probably doesn't hurt to give him a mouthpiece, but reason I see them putting these two together is basically, the same thing we've got going with Shane McMahon. Have somebody else do the dirty work and then, pick up the win on it. So, not much more I'm going to say about it. Fletch, it's yours.
Then we go into the final thing of the night, the King of the Ring matchup, tournament match, Elias versus Kevin Owens. Elias wins at 13 minutes and 25 seconds, and the shattering of hearts around the world because a lot of people that I know picked Kevin Owens to win the King of the Ring. That went down in flames thanks to Shane McMahon. He had a stick where his nose where it didn't belong. He interferes in this fight and cost Owens the King of the Ring. Damn, that hurts. This hurts, guys. Owens was one of the favorites, and he's gone. He's out of the tournament. Elias advances, and now he awaits the winner of, I believe, he goes up against, who does he go up against? Florio, help me out here. I don't have the King of the Ring bracket on me at the moment. So
he will go up against the winner. He will go up against either Ali or Buddy Murphy.
Ali or Buddy Murphy. Oof. All right. Tough break, to say the very least. Anthony Florio, unfortunately, you must be you got to do the unenviable task of leading off on this one.
No, that's okay. That's okay. Bring it on. I'm ready. So
it's yours, bro.
Yeah. Frustrated is not the word for this, folks. BS. That's exactly what this was. So many things wrong with this, but so little time to get it off my chest. The match was decent enough, but because of this ridiculousness finish, it gets 1.5 to 2 stars. Honestly, I mean, the match was decent enough, which is about the best you can hope for out of Elias. But Kevin Owens comes out of this looking absolutely horrible. Throughout much of the night, he practically grovels at the feet of Shane McMahon with no indication whatsoever that he was attempting to pull a fast one. And then he gets beat and made to look like an idiot, look like a fool. An absolutely horrible way to treat one of your top new baby faces. Kevin Owens, who is supposed to be an anti-authority voice for the fans in the locker room, just emasculated himself in front of the boss over money, that ridiculous fine, and then he gets cheated out of a match. Stupid. Full on stupid, in the immortal words of Randy Orton. I could just go on saying, you could just put me on a loop like Randy Orton. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Done, finished. I've had enough of this. Bullock, take it before I go off before I go on the brink of insanity here.
This is just absolutely freaking stupid. I mean, are you serious? I mean, I thought we were done with this whole thing with Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon. Obviously, Shane McMahon is a bitter man and is trying to find a way to stick it to Kevin Owens. And he did. I mean, this man was the absolute favorite, or one of the favorites, to win it all, and he's gone thanks to that piece of crap, Shane McMahon. It was a good match, but Shane McMahon killed it. I mean, what was the point of this? Seriously, what in the fucking hell was the point of this? Well, can anybody tell me what was the point of this? Anybody?
Pointless, unnecessary, unacceptable, inexcusable, reprehensible.
Irresponsible, borderline reprehensible. That's what it is.
No point.
It makes no sense whatsoever. There's no point of this, having this whole thing go down whatsoever, and it makes everyone look like a freaking fool. And this guy deserves way better than what he's getting right now after tonight. Yeah, way to go, WWE. You could take what you did tonight and you could shove it up your asses. Done, finished, DD, go.
Can we say abuse of power?
Yeah.
He may be the boss's son.
That's what the quote-unquote best in the world has. Abuse of power.
He may be the boss's son. He may be the commissioner of SmackDown. But he's abusing that power. He's definitely become one of these bosses that no one likes. No one wants anything to do with. So, and the ones that do are just kissing his butt. We have the new version of the Vince McMahon Kiss My Butt Club, except that you're substituting Vince with his son Shane. And that's pretty much what the Revival is doing, Drew McIntyre is doing, Elias is doing, and anybody else who decides to get into that little circle is they're all right there just kind of kissing the butt so we can try to get what we want to get so we can move on. Well, Elias already has the joke belt, which is the 24/7 belt. And now here he is, he's advancing in this only because of the fact that, Shane McMahon has to come in and try to take over. And really, we have to have the count that freaking fast. I mean, no, it was stupid. It was unnecessary, and I'm going to give it about 2.5, 2 to 2.5 stars. It was just. I mean, the match was going great until Shane decided to stick his nose where it doesn't belong. And I can pretty much tell you guys now, he's probably not going to give any kind of leeway on that charge that he's given to Kevin Owens. So I guarantee you he's going to make Kevin Owens pay for it. If not in money, he'll have him paying for it out of blood. Because he's trying to do anything he can to get him out of WWE. And Kevin's going to have to watch his P's and Q's because Shane's on the warpath. I'm done.
You see the bracket, folks, and it's the bottom half is the one that you want to look at, the one in blue. The SmackDown Live bracket, that is the breakdown as it stands of tonight. A devastating loss. Kevin Owens was considered one of the odds-on favorites to win the entire tournament. And now he's gone. Elias takes that spot. And now, with Shane McMahon in his back pocket, is it possible that Elias goes all the way and wins the King of the Ring? I mean, look at the bracket, guys. You got Ali and Buddy Murphy, and if you get through that, then you advance to the semifinal in Madison Square Garden, where you either fight Chad Gable, Shelton Benjamin, or Andrade, the winner of that match. And then, depending on who is fighting on the Monday Night Raw end, they might have just opened the door for Elias to possibly win the whole thing, guys. And imagine that. Elias as the King of the Ring for 2019. Well, man, what a night. All right. It's time for the overall review. And we're going to let Dee Dee Woodson lead off on this. So, Dee Dee, it was a great show. And then the main event happened. And ouch. That's probably going to lose some points.
Well, not only that, you had the reveal after the main event. What the hell was that? A guy with a fake red beard on that's supposed to look like Rowan? Really? Are we supposed to believe that? That was the thing? I don't think so. I'm sorry. I'm calling foul on that one. If Rowan did it, then Rowan did it. Let's stop playing games because WWE Universe is too smart to fall for that one. I mean, this show went great until you hit, like Flecha said, the main event, and then the main event and that reveal pretty much kind of on the whole thing. So, I mean, we're supposed to sit here and believe all this stuff. I don't think so. I don't. I'm going to give it about 6.5 stars, only because of the fact that this ending sucked. Between the last match and that big reveal, it totally sucked. And Shane McMahon sitting here playing games with Kevin Owens, that's way beyond go home. We're tired of it. We don't want to hear it anymore. Don't want to see it. I mean, yeah, you had a little bit of comedy stuff, like Shelton Benjamin putting up the sign that says you have to be this tall for Chad Gable to be in the King of the Ring. Okay, yeah, that's kind of funny. That's all right. Cool. No problem with that. And some of the other stuff here. I mean, it was all right. Not bad. But this whole backstage crap with Bryan and Rowan the whole night. That could go away. Shane McMahon and Owens, that can go away. Let's get down to what really matters, which is the stuff that's going to lead to our next pay-per-view, keeping the storyline building on that instead of going to this crap we've got now going of
repetitiveness.
Yeah. I mean, Shane McMahon does not need to be on 50% of the show. I mean, having maybe 1 or 2 segments with him on there, that's fine. But we don't need, 1 or 2 segments plus him involved in a match. That's a little too much of Shane McMahon. Plus, ever since this best in the world crap started, which we already know he's not the best in the world, he can't do a match on his own anymore. He has to have help to do the match, and he's already been beaten since he's been called the best in the world. He's not the best in the world. So that should have been thrown out a long time ago because that just looks stupid. So, yeah, I mean, as of right now, from what matches we've had on SmackDown for King of the Ring, the most promising right now is Andrade. Now, until we have the other 2 matches, I can't say whether or not we have anybody promising with those yet, but out of the 2 we had tonight, Andrade is the most promising, and knowing the way this is going, Shane McMahon is probably going to hand the SmackDown one to Elias. I mean, I'm surprised he hasn't handed the Raw one to Drew McIntyre yet. So, yeah, happy with Randy Orton stuff. Happy with the first King of the Ring. Moment of Bliss was good. Daniels Murphy good. Revival Heavy Machinery good. You get to this, even Miz TV segment was good. You get to that last part there where it all starts with the backstage segment of Shane McMahon. You can throw the rest of SmackDown away because it pretty much sucked. So that's my 2 cents. I will see you all next week.
SmackDown Live was on the verge of beating Monday Night Raw. And they were going to do it. If it wasn't for that segment at the end. If it wasn't for the last, I want to say, 20 minutes of the show that pulled the rug out from under us. If you're a SmackDown fan right now, you're absolutely livid with the way the show ended. Because, oh man, we were on an 8, maybe 8.5. We were well on our way to that rating. And then that ending happened and they literally pulled the rug out from under us. It went from 8 to 6 in no time. So it's a 6 for me. Raw wins the week. And you know what, Anthony? Thank your lucky stars that segment happened. Because if it didn't, and everything was still at that even keel, that hot end, they were going to beat Monday Night Raw. Raw was in deep trouble up until the end. And then that horrible segment leading up, the King of the Ring match, and what Didi alluded to at the end, if it wasn't for that, man, Raw they would have been dog meat on this one. They would have been mincemeat. We would have had the victory for the week. Instead, you pull the rug out from under us. We're fuming. We're pissed. And Anthony is Cheshire Cat Lake grinning because he knows Raw won the week. I'll admit it. They won. Florio, go. 6 out of 10 for me.
We agree. 6 to 6.5 is the correct rating. A huge step down from last week's show. Yes, there were 2 good matches worth checking out. Andrade and Apollo Crews, and of course Daniel Bryan and Buddy Murphy. But the storytelling took a turn for the worse. The egregious handling of Kevin Owens tonight, coupled with the flat reveal of Roman's alleged attacker, is impossible to ignore. And it puts an end to a streak of relatively frustration-free episodes of SmackDown Live. So, yeah, you said it. SmackDown was on the verge of doing some big things, especially those 2 great matches and some other great things. But, yeah, Shane O'Mac ruins the ending of it, and Raw escapes by the skin of their teeth. We ended up pulling out a 7.5 to 8 last night. SmackDown only gets a 6 to 6.5 here. If it wasn't for all that BS at the end, maybe something big could have happened here. But unfortunately, I'm sorry, MF. I feel bad for you. I really do. But, you know, it is what it is. So, I don't know what else there is to say here. I mean, these 2 angles these are the angles that I said was at the point to go away, especially the Roman attacker angle. I am not feeling it. It's at the point to go away for me, and of course this whole Kevin Owens and Shane O'Mac thing, that's starting to get on me as well. But the whole Roman attacker thing, this is you know, with all the recaps on and on and on and on and on, enough. Get it done, please. Don't drag this out any further. I don't need any more. So that's it. 6 to 6.5. Bullock, wrap it up.
Yeah, 6 to 6.5 for me. I mean, this was, yeah. I mean, it was on its way to doing something good, and then we get this. This was, yeah. Shane McMahon basically ruins the ending for everybody, and everybody goes home pissed, and who goes home happy? The quote unquote best in the world. Yeah, right. Shane McMahon. I'm done. I'm literally done. Flesh. Just go before I really explode.
All right, we're gonna end it. And Friday night is strictly sports. We're gonna be covering the NFL. We're gonna be previewing the 2019 NFL season, team by team, who we think is gonna win the division. Maybe a Super Bowl prediction. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. We're also gonna get into a little bit of some college football because, yeah, guys, it's happening. Miami, the U versus Florida. We're going to get into that. And the final time for the season, it's the power rankings in Major League Baseball. This is the season finale of Strictly Sports going down this Friday night, 10:30 Eastern. Anthony Boyle will host right here on YouNow.com. And, of course, it's simulcast on YouTube.com as well on the Tone 25 page. So that's it. We're done for the night. Thank you so much for watching this. Like the video. Leave a comment at the bottom. Share with all your friends on all social media platforms as always. And as usual, hugs and ham hounds. We are out. Have a good night, everybody. And so long for now. Bye-bye.